Welcome back to the Life Lessons series on the Working Well podcast. Today, we're exploring a topic that most adults unknowingly neglect, and they desperately need more of. That's play. Yes, play. The thing we celebrate in kids, we laugh about in pets and admire in athletes. And in adult, we avoid like the plague. But if you want to truly thrive, then I believe it's time to get serious about play. Now, I'm not just talking about your personal life. Play benefits us mentally, physically, emotionally, creatively, and professionally. Now, there was a stretch early in my fitness career, when I noticed something odd. I was training highly successful executives, business owners, other professionals, and they would walk into the gym with the same intensity they brought into a boardroom. They were serious, they were hyper-focused on the numbers, and they showed zero joy in their workouts. Training became just another structured or overly intense task in their day. And sure, they got decent results, but something was missing. After coaching elite athletes and kids for years, the comparison hit me. Kids approached movement with curiosity, exploration, laughter, zero self-consciousness. These kids and athletes, they didn't train, they played. And yet they still developed the strength, skill, coordination, and confidence to perform at a high level. So one day, I decided to test something new. Instead of the traditionally structured workouts I've been doing, I introduced games. Things like fitness hopscotch, obstacle courses, animal crawls, freeze tag, and things like invent your own sport challenges. At first, I got the classic executive eyebrow raise, like, are you freaking serious? But within minutes, they were sweating, they're laughing, they're competing, and they were learning. And the results were spectacular. People progressed much faster, cancellations dropped, enjoyment skyrocketed, and the biggest surprise was the ripple effect it had on the rest of their life. Clients reported being more energized at work, more creative with their teams, more present with their families, and just generally happier humans. And that single shift changed the way I approached human performance. And I've come to believe that adults don't stop playing because they grow old. Adults grow old because they stop playing. And let that sink in for a minute. There's a big difference. And let's unpack what it really means to play as an adult, because I believe that most adults misunderstand it. See, play when you're in adulthood isn't about being childish or irresponsible. It's not a toy box. It's any activity that sparks joy, curiosity, creativity, and full presence when you're doing it. When you're playing, you're absorbed in the moment. You feel lighter. You experiment. You engage without judgment or pressure to perform. And play can be physical, social, creative, intellectual, artistic, even quiet and reflective. The common thread is that play pulls you out of autopilot and brings you back to yourself. Now, this isn't just conjecture. Research backs this up in very powerful ways. Studies on adult play show improvements in emotional intelligence, stress resilience, cognitive flexibility, problem solving, quality of relationships, and just overall well-being. And researcher Dr. Stuart Brown calls play a biological drive because the brain, the human brain, the one sitting right between your ears, is literally wired for play. And as I already alluded to, adults who play regularly experience better mental health, more adaptable thinking, and richer social connections. So there's an important thing to remember, that play isn't the opposite of work. Play is your fuel for better work. Now, it begs the question, if play is so beneficial, why do adults abandon it? Because somewhere along the way, life ramped up and seeking joy slid down the priority list, as we'll call it. Your responsibilities grew. Families needed support. Careers accelerated. Bills started to pile up. Time felt scarce. And with adulthood comes a dangerous mindset, one that says play is frivolous and that serious people don't play. We learn to value efficiency and productivity and predictability. And we stop trying things that we're not good at. We fear embarrassment and feel self-conscious when we try new things. We start to judge ourselves for wanting fun in our lives. And we tell ourselves, there's no time. I've got other important things to do. And then, of course, there's a social perception. A playful adult risks being misunderstood as unfocused or unprofessional, especially in environments where seriousness is the norm. Think most corporate offices. So we suppress our spontaneity, our curiosity, our creativity, and our humor in order to fit in. Over time, adults shift from explorers to operators. Life becomes a checklist. Joy starts to become something we schedule for when we're on vacation, or maybe on the odd weekend here and there. And that loss is enormous. But the irony is that the very pressures that push play out of our lives are the pressures that play helps us handle better, because play reduces stress, improves our coping strategies, unlocks creativity, and it builds emotional resilience that strengthens our relationships. We didn't outgrow play. We just stopped giving ourselves permission to play. And as I've already mentioned, modern research reinforces what children already know intuitively. In fact, Fredrickson's Broaden Build Theory, you can go research that. I'll put the link in the show notes. It shows that positive emotions expand our thinking, increase resourcefulness, and build long-term resilience. And play is one of the fastest ways to generate positive emotion. Studies on adult playfulness show higher emotional intelligence, better coping skills, and that greater creativity. Physical play improves cognitive health, mood, and problem-solving abilities. Social play increases trust, cooperation, empathy, and relationship satisfaction. Probably would come in handy in most workplaces, wouldn't you think? Even in chronic illness, research shows that daily play predicts better mood and better self-management, emotional regulation. Now, play isn't something you earn. It's something you need to function at your best. Now, all this theory sounds awesome, but let's make it actionable. I've got a list of 10 simple ways you can add play back into your daily routine. I'm actually going to add 10 more. I'm going to put 10 ways to add play into your workday, as well as 10 ways to add play outside of your work. So let's start with the work ones. And these are simple things that don't require extra time, not a lot of extra time. So when you start a meeting, start it with a playful question or a prompt. Ask everyone to share their most unexpected thing they learned this week before you get into the agenda. It might take a couple minutes at the start of a meeting. Use movement breaks, things like animal crawls and balance drills and stretch challenges. I can even stand on my one leg while I'm narrating this, but set a timer for every 45 to 60 minutes. Do something like a 30-second bear crawl or just breathing squats. Stand on one leg, or just even a stretch. Get your body moving a bit. Now, you might not think that's play, but compared to the typical work environment, it's play for sure. And plus, there's a strategic physiological advantage to doing that. It shifts your physiology, your brain chemistry, your mood, and so many other factors. Third one, turn mundane tasks into mini games. So say you're doing an email batch. Challenge yourself to finish those emails before your coffee cools, or see how many tasks you can complete in a clear 5-minute sprint. Humor. Add humor intentionally. Drop a light joke or a meme or some funny analogy into your team chat to break the tension, reset energy. Use that at the start of your meeting. Tell a joke. Get everyone laughing. Walking meetings are another one, or creative brainstorm walks. Grab your phone and brainstorm some ideas while you're walking around the block instead of sitting at your desk. Things like using a fun reset object at your desk, a yo-yo, a puzzle cube, or some stress squishy. Whenever you feel your brain stalling or you're getting into a lull, use it. Stand up, and that's a great time to add a stretch as well. Start a team micro challenge. So invite your team to do a 30-second or a 60-second plank at 2 p.m. and then celebrate anyone who shows up. Now, you might think, oh, that's silly. In our office, it wouldn't fly. That's the point. Start to incorporate play into what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. You'll be amazed at how it improves the outcomes for yourself, your team, and your organization. Create a playful ritual for celebrating wins. Some in sales organizations, they ring a bell sometimes. Share a quick high five GIF or play a 2-second victory sound when someone hits a milestone. Do a dance party when you close a sale instead of ringing a bell. Things like that. Try a new skill with no pressure to be good. Try taking 2 minutes or 5 minutes to doodle, juggle, or learn a new magic trick just because it's fun, not because it's providing any tangible value to your business in the moment, but because it helps you think creatively and get outside the norm. Take 2-minute curiosity breaks between tasks, when between meetings. Look up something, how do squirrels remember where their nuts are? Things like that. Things that can spark your brain in new ways and help you bring more to the work you are doing. So those are some work ones. Let's talk about a few outside of work right now. So certain ones come to mind, like trying a new sport or a movement activity, whether it's drop in pickleball, climbing, dance session, something where you can enjoy being a beginner again. Maybe this involves joining a recreational league. In Calgary, where I live, we've got the Calgary Sport and Social Club. Join that. Go for casual volleyball or soccer or tennis or whatever it is, where fun matters more than the talent you have. Explore outdoors with an unstructured intent. Go for a walk and with no route in mind, and let curiosity decide whether you turn right or left. Learn a hobby just for fun. Painting, guitar, baking, some coding language. Take a course on something you've never even thought of. And don't worry about trying to get good at it. Just go do it for enjoyment. Things like comedy or improv nights. Laughter is always good and allows you to get your head out of work. Spontaneous dance breaks. I mentioned those again before. Put on a favorite song and dance for a minute while you're making dinner or folding laundry. Again, it's not about being, and I can hear your brain is probably going, oh, that's silly. Why would I do that? People are going to look at me strange. Who cares? You're doing it for you and your well-being, your performance in the long run. Invent family games. Create a goofy point system for things like who can set the table fastest without dropping anything. Build something creative. Whether it's 10 minutes, stack some Lego, make something funny, sketch, create some craft that you have been worried about or thinking about. Make something out of scrap wood that you have lying around the house, or something you're going to throw in the trash, a cardboard box. There are so many things you can do. And this takes me to the next one, is do something intentionally silly each day. Wear mismatched socks. In Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Workweek, he talks about your comfort zone challenges. This is one of those. Speak to someone who calls with a funny accent, pretend to be British or Irish or, from the Southern US or whatever it is. Put on an accent and just be silly. Take a dramatic bow when you complete a chore. And on the bit of a bigger scale, think of weekly micro adventures or monthly micro adventures. Pick a short outing each week, such as trying a new coffee shop, exploring a park, choosing some random spot that you haven't been to in your city and go there just to check it out. Again, none of this requires excessive amounts of time. It simply requires your permission to let yourself go do these things. Try it out as an experiment. And I'd be curious to see what your thoughts are after 1 to 2 weeks of trying this out. And remember, play isn't something that we grow out of. It's something you grow into when you want to live fully, lead effectively, and stay mentally and physically vibrant. Play activates your curiosity. It unlocks creativity, strengthens your relationships, and gives your nervous system a reset that no productivity hack can complete with. It's also fun, which for me is reason enough. Do it because it's fun. So here's your homework for the week. And again, homework doesn't have to be serious. Choose one playful action that you can introduce today. Choose one to add to your workday, and then choose one for outside of work. That's it. 3 sparks, and let the ripple effect do the rest. Thank you so much for joining me. Before you drop off, our next episode, in our next life lesson, we're going to dive deeper into the neuroscience of happiness, smiling, and joy. And it's closely connected to today's topic. And it's going to give you some more tools to elevate your daily experience. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. That wraps up another episode of the Working Well podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Now, which guests or topics would you like to see featured on the show? Message me through LinkedIn or on the contact page of timborys.com with your ideas. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Tim Borys with Fresh Wellness Group, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.